Hi guys, I'm Mrs. Mesdjian, and today I'm going to show you how to turn this plain, boring white t-shirt into a beautiful tie-dye t-shirt. Okay, so there's several things that we need. Number one, if you want to spend the money at Michael's and go get a tie-dye kit, that's probably the best bet. They do have some pretty colors, not too expensive, so you can do that. Or if you don't want to go to Michael's and you have food coloring at home, you can use that. So I have just your regular Vaughn's brand food coloring. Just drop it in some water. So just get a bottle of water. Really, a half a bottle would probably be preferable, but you can make vibrant colors like this. So this is blue food coloring. Obviously, I poured a little of the water out initially, put about 8 drops of the blue food coloring in there, and that makes that pretty vibrant blue. You can go more or less on the drops, just depending how light or dark you want the color. And of course you can mix, so just remember your color wheel. You can do some yellow and blue to make green, obviously, so you can play around with the colors. But if you mix, yellow and green, do more yellow drops and fewer blue, because the blue is going to wash out the yellow, okay? So there's that. Now, to get the designs, how do we do that? So the shirt that I showed you, this is everybody's favorite with the swirl. Okay, so the way you get the swirl is first you have to start out with plain white t-shirt, obviously, and get it wet. So you can wash it, if you just buy some new t-shirts or if you have them at home, just wash it, take it out of the washer, and that's perfect. Otherwise, go to the sink, wet it, wring out excess liquid, and then you're good to go. Now, you're going to need a bag of rubber bands, okay? That's important. Now, my rubber bands have a little bit of dye on them because I've tie-dyed a million shirts. So, the problem with using recycled tie-dye rubber bands is you might get some extra colors that you weren't figuring on, but for me, it's okay. I don't worry about extra colors because when I'm tie-dyeing, dye gets everywhere and it gets crazy anyway. By the way, if you are tie-dyeing at home, I highly recommend do it outside so that you don't make a mess, because your mother and father may not appreciate it. I'm inside though. Shh, don't tell anybody. Okay, so to make that swirly pattern, what do? So you can do your swirl off center if you want, or just right in the middle. It depends, whatever you want to do. It's your shirt, so make it yours. If you want to just go in the middle, you're going to pinch kind of in the middle. You can lay your shirt down, and once you pinch, let me see if you can see me, you're going to twist. Okay, I can't really do this single-handedly, but you're going to twist so that it's like a cinnamon bun, okay? When you get done with that cinnamon bun, it's going to look like this, and see, I had color on my fingers when I did this before on my rubber bands. But then just get 2 rubber bands and you can kind of, make a cross with the rubber bands. But see all the swirls there? Okay, so you just roll and roll and roll and roll till you have no more material left, and you just rubber band it together like a little cinnamon roll, okay? Then when you're all ready with your colors, whether you're using your homemade colors or your Michael's colors, okay, these you have to add water to as well, which I haven't done yet. But how do you get those beautiful colors? So you see in the cinnamon roll, you've got these twirlies, okay? So you're going to get a color and just follow the roll around, okay? Just go a couple times around, get another color, go another couple times around, and you just follow that little trail, okay, of the cinnamon roll shirt, and you'll get that beautiful swirly coloration like that, okay? Now, maybe you don't want that pattern. Maybe you want to do a different pattern. Another option is maybe you want like a solid color and then white stripes throughout, okay? The shirt's already white, so you can keep the white by putting your rubber bands tightly around And wherever your rubber bands go, you won't get color. So here's one that I prepared. So this one will make stripes, horizontal stripes across. So just every couple of inches, tightly rubber band like that, okay? So that one's gonna get dunked in the sink. I'm actually gonna do my blue dye in my stainless steel sink so I don't mess anything up. I'm just gonna do that whole thing one color, okay? Another option that you have is, which is really pretty, and this is fun. I learned it at camp many years ago when I was your age. Yeah, it's been a long time. So you can make circles, okay, like white circles, and then again a single color if you'd like, or you can mix colors, but you can make like white circles so it kind of looks like a underwater ocean. Like if you use a blue and a green, it's super pretty. So what you're gonna do, again, grab like pieces of cloth like you would starting the cinnamon bun, but just get a piece like that and rubber band, and then grab another piece like that and rubber band another piece, and so you have like bubbles all over the shirt. So it's gonna look like this, okay? See my little guys? So they're all over, and then again I would dunk this shirt in the color in my sink, okay? If you have a white sink at home, don't do that because it's gonna stain. But if you have stainless steel, you're good to go. If not, if you're doing outside, which I highly recommend, you can put a piece of saran wrap or cellophane on the ground, okay, on the ground outside, or if you have a patio table that's glass and it's not gonna stain, put your saran wrap on the table, you lay your shirt on the table, and then you can do your color over, okay? So that's how you do that, especially if you're doing the cinnamon bun, okay, the typical tie-dye. Put that on a piece of cellophane and then do your colors, get it nice and saturated. And then the good thing about you're on the cellophane, you're gonna wrap it up and let that dry like out in the sun for about 5 hours, okay? If you don't have 5 hours, just wrap it up, maybe put it in a Ziploc bag, let it rest overnight. And then the next day, you're going to rinse that out, either with your hose outside, okay? Or in your sink, but you've got to rinse repeatedly. And I would recommend, boys and girls, once you're done tie-dyeing, wash that shirt by itself in the washer, no other clothes, okay? Because the other clothes are going to get tie-dyed too, and that's not recommended. So rinse out very thoroughly, wash in the washer, maybe a couple times by itself, and then you'll have your beautiful, beautiful tie-dye. Have fun, everybody. Hey guys, we're back out here and we're going to dye our shirts now. Remember, I showed you how to roll the little cinnamon bun so you can get that beautiful swirl pattern. Now let's talk about the dye and how we apply that. First and foremost, gloves. Now I'm using the heavy duty ones. Usually when you get a tie-dye kit from Michael's or whatever, they'll come with these little gloves, which are perfectly fine, but do wear gloves because the dye will stain your hands, it'll stain your clothes. Be careful, don't wear your fanciest shirt because it may get color on it, so be careful. Now, I've only mixed 2 colors because I didn't want to be wasteful and make too many. I'm only making a couple of shirts. This is plenty for maybe 10 shirts, okay? So depending on how many colors you mix, you can do a lot of projects. So spoiler alert too, I showed you how to make your own dye. Now I looked that up on the internet. I was a little skeptical because usually you have to add some kind of vinegar or something to the mix. Yeah, that dye didn't work out so hot, so we're gonna re-dye some shirts. Yesterday I showed you making a green color. That's how it came out. I rinsed it out, wasn't so good. So either the Michael's dye or you're gonna have to add some vinegar in because it just didn't work out. Actually, I'm going to start with this color here. See, look, I already have dye on my finger, and that will stain your skin, it'll stain your clothes, so good thing I have gloves. It's fine. Okay, now keep that away from your face when you take that off, because once you shake, it's gonna sprout everywhere. Tie-dyeing is very messy, so watch out. Okay, so I'm gonna start in the middle of my little swirl. I'm gonna hold it up that way so I don't get dye everywhere, but I'm just gonna go all around the middle. I wanna get in the folds, okay? So I want it to sink down in there. It's not an exact science, so just do your best. I'm gonna flip it over as well. Get that dye in the center, because I do want the back of my shirt to be colored as well. So just getting that nice in there. I'm gonna give it lots and lots of color. Remember, I'm not worried about saving dye because I'm just doing a couple projects. If I had a lot of shirts to do, I might not use as much. It just depends how vibrant you want your colors. So I've done the middle there with my greenish color. Now I'm gonna go with my purple. And again, I'm trying to get in the folds, just really get it in there. Again, you don't have to be too scientific about it. Just get it in. So that's what it looks like now. It's kind of a mess. It's okay. It's fun to see how it comes out in the end. And again, I'm placing my shirt on some saran wrap on this table because I'm gonna have lots of dye all over the place. Once I get done with this, I'm just gonna wrap it up. So just getting that dye all in there. I'm gonna go again back with my green color. I'm getting to the outside now. So just soaking it, lots of saturation in there. I was a bit disappointed with the homemade dye. I thought that would work, but again, I was a bit skeptical because when I was a kid and we made Easter egg dye, we always used to add vinegar to it. So it's another case of don't believe everything you read online, because they said food coloring and water, but I think the water just dilutes the color too much, so it doesn't stay. Okay, now I am going through this color pretty good. I'm putting a lot on here. Okay, I'm gonna finish it out with purple on the outside. I might leave a little white just for fun. Okay, you're gonna have a little bit of a pool down in the bottom. That's okay. It's all gonna get wrapped together. So some of your colors are gonna mix. You're gonna have a mix of purple and green at some point. And see, I've got ink everywhere. So that's why the gloves are imperative. You can wipe that off with a little paper towel. And now I have put some tape on the table because it was a little windy. My saran wrap was blowing around. So I'm gonna untape that, just wrap it up. I'm not worried about the tape, just gonna put that all in there. So I'm gonna wrap that up so the dye doesn't get everywhere and make a big giant mess. I'm gonna put it in a Ziploc bag. Again, I'm gonna wipe off my gloves because I've made a mess. Okay, the project goes there. I would let it soak in for a good while, couple hours maybe. And then remember, the final step is to rinse, 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 and then wash it in the washer by itself with nothing else. You don't want that dye to stain any of your other clothes. Rinse it out several times, wash it several times, and then you'll have your beautiful tie-dye shirt and enjoy. Thanks, guys. Okay, everybody, it's the moment of truth. I have rinsed out those tie-dye shirts repeatedly, washed them 2 times in the washer here, ran them through the dryer. Let's see what they look like. Here's the shirt with the stripes. So we can see we've got nice green color, white stripes throughout. Here's my shirt with the bubbles. So see that nice white. If you do those rubber bands nice and tight, you can do 2 rubber bands if you want a thicker white circle, but that's how they come out. So beautiful, beautiful color. And here's everybody's favorite, right? That swirly shirt. Yeah, traditional tie-dye, looks beautiful. So once again, everybody, I highly recommend tie-dye outside so you don't make a big mess. And then rinse, 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 wash those shirts. You can wash them together like I did, but just not with any other clothes. Okay, so have fun whether you come to school and join us for the tie-dye event on campus or you tie-dye by yourself. Enjoy, have fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.